You know, I was thinking. I actually thought of some really good things that we can talk about. Very good. I'm not done. We're not done. Let's talk a little bit of Forex, right? Right? Moving the biggest things in the world. We don't move tiny little penny stocks. We move entire countries. Let's show an even finer example of that. 6 views on this video. It's a 40-minute video. 6 views. Nobody watched it, even though it's probably one of the most valuable things they could have been looking at.
Personally, I'm more of a US dollar
Look at this.
fan myself.
When was this filmed? July 9th, 2021. As all those markets were peaking out in the past, we just showed you all the videos. What was at the bottom? US dollar.
The easier of a commodity to exchange.
So look at this price channel I had in place. We had the support, the green thumb. We have our resistances marked, right? This was July 9th, 2021.
Said you like Adam, CRV.
And there's some scumbag in my chat talking about altcoins. Stop, dude. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Okay, so I just want you to focus on that chart. We might come back to this video to talk about LTC in a second. But look at this chart, okay? We made bank on this. Here's a screenshot. Screenshot again. Not only did we cover UUP, which is a derivative, but we also covered DXY, which is the main US dollar index. Look at this downtrending price channel here. I'll show both of them in TradingView in a second here. You can see the downtrending price channel DXY, and UUP you can show the smaller time frame uptrending, right? But the projection, as you've been seeing in all of our charts today, we're represented by the white gray box, has not moved at all. Has not moved. So what does this look like today, right? Are you ready for your mind to be blown? Look at that. That is the US dollar over the past year. Everyone's talking about inflation. Everyone's talking about stimulus checks killing. Like, they're actually just lying. They're like, it's not true. Over the past year, the US dollar has grown over 20% in value. Objectively, no ifs, ands, or buts, no argument. It is the strongest currency in the world. It is appreciated 20%. Right now, the US dollar, for the first time in over 20 years, is stronger than the euro. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. Yet for some reason, the price of goods are going up. How? That's actually just price gouging. There is no if, and, or buts. That's actually just price gouging. At least in the U.S. states. You can say this in the U.S. You can say this in the U.S. Other countries did not fare as well. So look at this price point as well. That 28.29. Let's go look at our projection. It's the exact price point. Look at the wick. Look at the wick. Boom. It's the exact. It's so accurate. Just like Gap. Just like Gap. Just like Gap. Isn't that amazing? The US dollar. The US dollar. Like, we aren't talking about penny stock. We aren't talking about 20% in this random no-name. We successfully ran the value of the dollar up 20%. They measure the value of my shit in your shit. Like, let's just get that clear. So while the entire world was selling off, from Japan, Korea, the US, social media, semis, literally everything, well, what was appreciating? The US dollar. And we were in there. We were in there. Here's what's funny about the US dollar, people. They don't realize your bank account is the US dollar. Just by having a dollar to your name, you are invested in the dollar, right? And it's when you go to exchange those dollars for assets such as shares, you know, that your exposure to the US dollar comes down, right? So you could have literally sold all of your positions that depreciated 30% right here, right? If we got, I'll actually do that for you guys. Look, guys, I have not moved it. This was the entry point, right? I just showed you. The entry point, the exact same price box, went straight to the moon. $28, right where it was. $28. Crap. Oops. Ain't that amazing? Now, if we were to like overlay, let's say SPY, and you go all the way in, look at that divergence. So not only by selling your shares here, would you have saved yourself from losing that 30% equity in whatever company you were holding or index? Just by having it in the US dollar, it would have gained value at a rate of about 20%, which creates roughly a 50% differential between what a person who held has versus what a person who sold has, because the currency itself went up. That's how that works. There's almost, one might say, an inverse correlation between these two assets here. Now, why are we bringing up the US dollar? Well, first off, it was amazing and deserves to be talked about. What else did we do in the Forex market over the past 6 months? Well, when the US dollar goes up, its paired currencies would go down, right? So if you're talking like EUR USD or JPY USD, now that these are at support and that is at resistance. Let's go back to the US dollar real quick. Okay. So again, you saw that I had this gray projection in place for over a year now, and it's gone perfectly, as represented by the stream here, for people who feel like they need a video for proof, whatever. Now that we are at resistance, again, look. I want to be extra clear. Extra clear. Here's UUP. These red lines have been in place for over a year. This is not our first time playing the US dollar. Let's be extremely clear, right? This isn't an anomaly. No. Guess who was shorting here? That was us. Go look in the Discord. Go look on Twitter. Guess who was long here, right? During Trump presidency? Right here? That was us. Guess who was short here? Guess who was short here? That was also us. Yeah, remember when gold was running insane? Let's go look at that real quick. Right up in here, in this pocket, right here, this run right here. All correlates. It all correlates. Meanwhile, this thing has been stuck in flagging for like over a year now. It's kind of annoying. Kind of annoying. But right here, we were buying here, we were sold here. Haven't really messed with the gold commodity since. Just kind of been there. But the US dollar, oh yeah. So, recognizing it's not our first time playing the US dollar. It's not our first time playing any of these things. You know, I love these symbols. I love these symbols so much. I tend to stick to these very high quality names, high quality assets. Where do we think it's going next? Again, this red line has been here. It's literally been here. It has not moved. We buy here. Our plan was to run up to exactly this price point. Guess what? It is sitting at exactly that price point, and we stick to our plans. So what is it we are doing here in the US dollar right now? Well, we are getting rid of them. We are selling our UUPs. We are selling our EUO leveraged ETFs. We are selling our short positions that we had on domestic currencies, foreign currencies. And what do? You want right here in this candle, you should be entering actually right now, right now, shorting the US dollar, just like here. Make it, I mean, they're already there. You want to be shorting the US dollar. Fuck the US dollar. You want to be converting all of your dollars into assets. You want to be converting all of your dollars into assets, or you can put them into foreign currencies. What foreign currencies would I recommend? I just want to point out these lines right here were also in place in the charts. Where my Discord go? You see these red lines? You see these red lines on UUP? Here's DXY, basically the same symbol. Red lines, they've been in place. They've actually been there. Like, this is nothing new. If you would have watched video, you would have known that we're buying here, and you would have known. Our decision to sell the US dollar up here was made over a year ago. This is not something we're just deciding overnight because of a feeling, because of a headline, because of an article. No. These are cyclical patterns that happen over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. You see that? And what? You're like, well, why are these two descending red lines here? Well, let's look at a big picture perspective. Let's get let's get to the monthly. Look at this. Resistance, tank, resistance, tank. And as you can see, there's just generally a downward trending price channel on the US dollar when we look at these huge time frames and we play these big time frames. So now that we are touching, look, right where we were projecting, this red line has been here for over a year. That's our sell signal, and no matter what, no matter how strong it looks now, no matter what headlines coming out, our decision that we made a year ago was to buy here and to sell here. And that's exactly what we're going to do, and we are not deviating from that. Okay. So now that we've established that we hate the US dollar, and literally holding anything but the US dollar is going to appreciate over the next 6 months to a year, what currencies do we want to get into?